We are officially back with some more BORACITY Magazine, and today we're learning how BTS Army changed fandom culture. Take notes, besties. Let's go.
You know BTS!
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Landon, and we are here again today for another BORACITY Magazine video. I'm so excited. I love these. These are some of my favorite commentary videos on YouTube when it comes to anything Bangtan. So thank you again so much to BORACITY Magazine. Love you. Sorry if that's too much. I'm not trying to come on too strong. Okay. Anyway, today we're going to be discussing how BTS changed fandom culture. If I have to pause it and give my little 2 cents, you guys know I will. So I'll say we jump right into it.
Every couple of months, I see a discussion of which fandom is the best fandom. And every single time, fandoms would name a crazy thing they did as one of the most legendary things that happened in pop culture. And these legendary moments are almost always related to some kind of invasion of privacy.
Yes.
For example, Affinity Magazine made a list of the One Direction fandom's most legendary moments. And all of the examples are interesting. But this is the fandom's #1 moment. One Directioners hacked into airport and hotel security cameras just to watch the members
Bro,
of
that's
One Direction.
crazy.
And the fandom agrees that these are their most legendary moments. They are a #Throwback Thursday. These are moments they are proud of. This is proof they invented fandom. It's moments like this that make them the most iconic
Stalker
fandom.
behavior.
And every time I see some kind of debate or discussion about which is the best fandom, it's usually a competition of which is the craziest fandom.
Yeah.
I think it's because fandoms usually have the idea that the crazier the fandom acts, the bigger the fandom will be perceived. These type of fandoms are known to not only be extremely big, but also so crazy that they are considered some type of disease.
Heard that
It was
many
the
times
Bieber
before.
mania, the Justin Bieber fever, the One Direction infection. And as you can see, this negative image that media and the general public puts on big fandoms ends up convincing them to own their bad reputation, to even be proud of it. That was until the BTS fandom became the biggest fandom.
It's safe to say that ARMY are the most powerful fandom in the world. And the thing that brings them together? Their complete devotion to 7 men from South Korea and their unique message.
There's
Absolutely.
this common perception that the BTS Army and K-pop fandoms in general are extremely toxic. And the first problem I have with this idea is that BTS's fandom is being combined with a bunch of other fandoms that are not related to BTS. They are actually known to team up to compete against BTS's.
That's how you know you made it, honestly, in my opinion, when all the other fandoms that have not actually been that active as much, you know, Bieber Fever, One Direction, no hate to any of them. Y'all do your thing. You do your thing. But when y'all have to all team up together to beat one fandom, take a step back and look in the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the biggest fandom of them all? Bangtan.
Fandom.
Sorry.
In reality,
I'm not trying to be, like,
generally speaking,
controversial.
ARMY
Like, y'all know
reflects
that.
BTS's message. A message that K-pop groups, pop artists,
Exactly.
and their fandoms lack.
Sorry, pausing again. I feel like BTS has like this common message. This is this message that they really try to stick to, and it's always like a good message. It's not just about being obsessed with them. It's about doing good also. Like being a part of BTS Army, I've seen so much change happen in the world, whether it's donations, whether it's coming together to support a cause, whatever it may be. It's always something nice. And like I really hadn't seen that from the other fandoms, and I don't know if they did, so don't like hate on me, but like the one that kind of comes to my head is like low key, okay, censor, trigger warning, cut yourself for Bieber or whatever that was. Like that's not okay. It's not okay.
Of course, artists don't have to have a message, but BTS was socially conscious since their debut, leaving a clear impression on their fans and creating some kind of fandom etiquette. This
That's
fandom
it.
etiquette did not come as a list of rules that ARMY must follow. It was simply a consequence of the fandom understanding the message of BTS's music
That's
and
so
their
true.
actions as
Yes.
people. Of course, I'm not saying that every
Yes,
single BTS
that's also
fan
very
is
true.
not toxic. There have been concerning invasion of privacy cases involving BTS. The difference is that this is not something the fandom celebrates. It's actually condemned in
Yes.
the exception to the rule.
We kick those out.
These toxic moments are talked about and called out within the fandom so much that it may feel like they happen all the time. But compared to other fandoms who encourage it and are proud of it, the BTS Army proves that they, maybe involuntarily, created a shift in fandom culture. Army is probably the first big fandom who doesn't want to be recognized as a mania or a fever or an infection,
Yeah.
but just a group of people who not only practice
What is it called? Like,
respect,
are we an infection? Are we a fever? Are we a mania? What is it? Army takeover? Like, what is it? I haven't even heard to refer to as that, anything like that.
but also actually does productive things for
That's
BTS,
what I'm saying,
each
charity
other,
map.
and the world. There's obviously going to be some toxic ones who don't represent the majority, but in the case of ARMY, the toxic side is microscopic compared to the majority non-toxic side. Just think about it. The BTS ARMY is bigger than every K-pop fandom combined.
Oh, she said it.
The behind the scenes YouTube channel has 74 million subscribers. Their Instagram has 72 million followers. Their 2 Twitter accounts have around 50 million followers each, and their recent TikTok account has around 60 million followers. You can argue that not all of these people are going to be ARMY. Some can be casual listeners or curious people from the general public. Maybe you only
But
want to
then
find...
you also have to say that some of the dedicated ARMY are also not on social media. You have to look at it from that side too. So it may be 60 million on TikTok, maybe 10 million of them are not considered ARMY or something like that, but there's at least another 10 million out there, I swear, some unks and aunties and grannies and gramps that don't have TikTok, you know, so it can even out.
The 50 million fans dedicated enough to pay for the official BTS ARMY annual membership. Of course, this excludes a lot of dedicated ARMYs who are not able to pay for the membership
Boro said he was getting to
the
it.
benefits because of their location or other factors. But still, if you only want to count these 50 million fans paying for the membership, you won't see 50 million toxic BTS fans. That would be insanity. But even if, let's say, you come across 1,000 very toxic fans who are extremely loud, there would still be less than 0.01% of the fandom with the membership. But there are millions of others who are not, so the percentage is even less than that. My point is that the overwhelming majority of ARMYs represent a fandom that pop culture has never seen.
I agree, and I'm glad you're
As
pointing
a
it out.
consequence of following BTS's message, the BTS ARMY not only rejects the stereotype of a crazy hysterical fandom, but also proves
We're not a
with
bunch of
actions
teenage
that they are
girls.
different.
Also,
Here are
like...
some of the examples that show how the BTS ARMY changed fandom culture. This is an unspoken rule about being an ARMY. Their personal lives are not of our concern. This is way more common with small or medium fandoms, but the very big fandoms that ruled pop culture, especially during the internet era, treated artists' personal information as facts every fan should know. I remember that back then, to call yourself a real fan of any mainstream artist, you will have to know everything about their personal lives. There were guides to know.
See, and that's what I kind of love a little bit about like the K-pop stan world and stuff. Not that I love that they don't have relationships, but I love that everything they do is not publicized in that way. And I know that makes it even more interesting to like not paparazzi and news outlets and stuff like that. But I just kind of love, they're like, I don't know what they're doing every second of the day. I don't need to. I need to appreciate their art, and that's what I'm here for.
Their parents and siblings' names, information, and other kind of details of the artist's personal lives. It was a thing that would come up on the popular "Are You a Real Fan?" quizzes. But in
I barely
general,
know their
BTS's
siblings.
fandom
I do
doesn't
know
really
some,
care
but
and
like...
even condemns fans digging up their personal information. The only personal information we celebrate is their birthdays, but that's it. Most ARMYs don't know and don't care to know about the members' family members and their lives. If anything, ARMYs are more likely to say that real ARMYs need to know BTS's music and legendary key points of their story in the music industry.
Same wavelength.
Ask the most ARMY of ARMYs how many siblings a certain member has, and you won't get an answer from them. Ask what are the names of the members' parents to an ARMY.
I don't know any of their names.
That's not public information.
Yeah, why would I want to know that?
The BTS members always protected the privacy of their non-famous friends and family members. So it's an unspoken rule that ARMY doesn't need to know about these details of their personal lives. You may think it's obvious to not care about these details. You may think it's obvious to prioritize the music over other things. But in the world of crazy big fandoms, ARMY normalized this big shift.
I never thought about it like that.
Was also outside Citi Field handing out purple ribbon wristbands. They serve as reminders to concertgoers to be respectful to their fellow ARMYs.
One of the most uncontrollable moments for ARMY is when some fans, the paparazzi, and the general public go see BTS at airports or their private
The airport scene is the closest I ever see to like a typical paparazzi, typical like crazy fandom. Every time I went to a concert, award show, any type of BTS event, it's never even been one what you would call like a crazy obsessed fan. I've never seen that. I only ever see it in these like airport clips.
I still believe that by the size of the fandom, it can be even worse and more dangerous than what it already is. But there have been moments that really show how ARMY changed a part of fandom culture involving privacy and the artist's safety. For example, when BTS started getting massive worldwide popularity, it became extremely difficult for the BTS members to walk through airports, even with tons of security guards. So ARMY organized the Purple Ribbon Project, in which ARMYs in the front row form a barrier with purple ribbons to prevent...
I did not know about this, and for some reason, I just got chills across my entire body, and I want to cry because, like, being ARMY, I know how much we love these guys, and I know how much it would be a dream come true to be able to talk to them, you know, or one day be that close to them in the same room. But the fact they went out of their way to create their own ARMY branded barrier, why is that making me emotional? God, I fucking love this fandom.
BTS, all fans, and the airport staff from getting mobbed.
They got those purple ribbons for security. So like they put all the way around us through in the airport and outside the airport and keep the security for us. They did it themselves.
I had no idea about that.
A lot with the chaos in 2018, but as the years passed, BTS became bigger.
Ribbon won't get a hold of some of them back, I know.
LAX, it's like the Beatles were here. I mean, your fans. It's really
the sipping moment from Tay.
And did change. Now, armies encourage others to simply not go to the airport.
I would never
or
go,
any other locations
honestly.
where BTS has private schedules. For example, in South Korea, every man has to serve in the military for 18 months.
Jin just came home, and y'all did such a good job.
Or actor has their
Y'all did a really, really good job at the entrance and exit ceremonies for everybody. I just need y'all to know ARMY's good job. Keep it up. I love that. I loved being able to see Jin walk out, hug all the members of BTS. I don't know if I was supposed to see that. Okay, let's keep that on the real. I don't know if like Dispatch was supposed to be released and all that, but I did see it. And the fact that it's like not crazy security, crazy, fans lining up everywhere. How respectful is that? Do you think that would have happened in other fandoms? I don't know.
Their military entrance ceremony, fans would go see them, even if the celebrities asked them not to. However, during Jin's military entrance ceremony, he asked fans in an announcement to not visit him at his military entrance ceremony for his safety and the safety of other soldiers. So armies listened and didn't go visit him. This is surprising because it's not common but expected for fans to go to celebrities' military ceremonies. Of course, the paparazzi are the paparazzi.
Okay.
They didn't listen to Jin's announcement and went anyway, but they were surprised to go to the ceremony and not find the avalanche of fans they were expecting.
Exactly.
And you can tell that the paparazzi were shocked from seeing a group of fans for the first time actually listening to the celebrities' wishes.
They listened to that? Yeah. Look at that. Even the paparazzi know.
Again, this idea of not going to the
I never saw that clip either.
or other public places where BTS has private schedules may sound obvious in
I don't see low-key like these videos that they're showing where everybody's kind of getting mobbed, everybody's kind of getting pushed into a car, blah blah blah. Out of all the different shows that I've watched from BTS, all the different moments, everything, I really can't remember many instances where like they had to run in their car and hope to not get trampled. Why am I now just realizing that I don't ever see that? But for every other celebrity out there, it happens a lot. Okay.
But before
ARMY are the best.
started encouraging this, other big fandoms saw this type of mobbing as something to brag about. And if some fans told other fans to not go see their favorite artists at the airport, there would be a big entitled reaction.
Exactly.
But now, the majority of armies encourage others to give BTS their space. And there have been multiple occasions of ARMY accidentally finding the BTS...
Wait, no, this one to me, I'm sorry, I'm pausing it again. These are the stories that I fucking am so obsessed with ARMY, is being like, hey, by the way, I met Jin last Thursday. He was just randomly at this theme park, and I got to like have a picture of him and everything, and he was so kind and so sweet. But I told him I wouldn't post about it, and I'm posting it a week later when I know he's home safe in Korea. You know, those type of moments always made me be like, are you for real? What kind of fandom is this in a good way? Because you know good and damn well any other celebrity that's walking around a theme park or something, somebody's gonna Snapchat that, somebody's gonna put it on their Instagram story and say, oh my god, Jin in blah blah blah. And the fact that we can give them their piece, it just makes me so happy. God, it really, this video is not only showing me things I've never seen, but opening my eyes up to the things that I have seen before and putting them together, connecting the dots. This is why we love you, BORACITY, okay? Gosh.
In different parts of the world and not saying anything until the BTS members are back in South Korea or post their travel pictures themselves. In return, BTS thanks every time armies have pretended to not know them in public and have kept their location a secret.
To do an OT7. Word fan chant right now. Why am I about to cry?
Is probably the most self-organized fandom.
Absolutely,
There were times
absolutely.
when concert venues were simply not ready for the magnitude of a BTS concert. Here are only two recent examples. When BTS performed at SoFi Stadium in LA in 2021, the organization from the staff was so bad that armies were still outside of the...
If you want to go look at my vlog from day one, SoFi Stadium 2021 concert of BTS, you can literally see me still outside like 10 minutes before the show was supposed to start. And then they literally just let everybody in, no checking tickets or anything like that. So I do have video evidence of that on my concert vlog. Go check that out. I was there and it's true. Ended up going to the line around 5:45 maybe to try to get into the stadium because we heard that it was taking pretty long. So I walked over to the entrance, stood there. Here's some video evidence of what it was like.
venue after the concert had already started. The fans had to do their own crowd control, despite asking the venue multiple times to increase safety measures. But the venue still had this bad organization for other future events where people got badly injured, making many believe that the reason why there were no serious injuries or accidents during the 4 BTS concerts...
Because when we were also all trying to get in, this is thousands of armies trying to get in with like 15-20 minutes till the show starts. We had no type of pushing situation. We were literally standing like this, all next to each other, and nobody was pushing. We were all patiently standing there and waiting. Now that I'm thinking about it again, I'm getting goosebumps again because like I didn't even put it into perspective at that moment in my life. That usually every other set of fans would be just pushing as hard as they could to get in, knowing that the show was about to start, and like, it's just hitting me that that didn't happen. I was very mad that it was taking so long to get in. Did I blame BTS and Army? No, it was SoFi. SoFi didn't, no. And it was right after the pandemic too, so like, I give them a little grace, honestly.
Was because of Army's self-organization. These 4 concerts were attended by 70,000 armies in each day. BTS also had a one-day free concert in the city of Busan in South Korea in 2022. This concert was organized by the city, which received multiple complaints for the lack of organization and preparation for a free BTS concert. The only reason why the event was not a complete mess was because of BTS paying out of pocket for more safety measures.
아시아드 주경기장이나 부산 국제 락 페스티벌이 열리는 흠락 생태공원 등을 검토했지만 10만 명을 수용하려면 이곳이 가장 적절하다고 판단했습니다.
And Army being respectful to one another. BTS and Army's efforts for safety were recognized only after other massive festivity in South Korea was poorly organized by their city, only weeks after BTS's concert, leaving one of the biggest tragedies in the country. This type of lack of safety measures can be catastrophic. We saw them happening time and time again. This shouldn't be the public's full responsibility, but sadly, every time the venues are not prepared for a BTS concert, armies take it upon themselves to organize themselves and avoid tragedies.
Honestly,
and you can see
God,
the
I'm getting
fandom's
chills.
mentality as a whole in the little details too. If you've been to any concert or sport event, you've probably noticed how common it is for the place to become a mess as the event
We
ends.
clean up our
But
trash.
at the majority of BTS concerts, you will find armies wearing masks out of respect for each other.
Wore my
even if
masks
it's
all
not
the time.
mandatory.
Yep.
Using the fandom's light sticks to organize the after-concert traffic, and even leaving the trash organized. These kind of
Look at
small
this.
forms of organization prove that the mentality of the great majority of armies is of respect. Not only
It's
for
making me low-key
members-
emotional because you know what? I did pick the right fandom. I picked the right set of people, and like, not to mention the boys make amazing music and are great people. But like when it comes to the fandom too, yeah. Now that you say that, I don't remember seeing any trash anywhere. Ever. The people that I said to at every single concert that I went to, I did not know them usually. And we all became friends. We shared each other's water. We like all masked up. It's when you put it all together in this video format, you really start noticing how sensitive and caring and amazing Army is. Okay, sorry.
BTS, but also to each other.
Oh yeah, oh my god. Okay, you're like, don't even get me started on freebies. Honestly, I collect more freebies at concerts than ever in my life. And it's crazy because I always wanted to do it. I just never really been like financially able to hand out thousands and hundreds of things. But the people that do, I wanted them to know that I appreciate it so much. And I still have some of the photo cards just like around my house, everywhere.
Army's respect for BTS and Army goes beyond the concern of privacy and safety. Armies are generous to each other. Small acts of generosity include ARMYs giving each other freebies at concerts. These are hundreds of small gifts ARMYs prepare for other ARMYs for free, and it can include BTS photo cards, stickers, accessories,
I have
snacks,
so many.
bottles of water, and masks. It's
I
not
love
a BTS
them.
concert without this type of
Truly,
gifts.
truly.
But these are personal acts of generosity by each ARMY. When
Yeah.
ARMYs form a fan-based association, they can do bigger projects like the Purple Ribbon Project. Different fan bases help ARMYs understand different streaming platforms, music charts, BTS's history and discography. There are also organizations created by ARMY professionals that help guide and inform fans in anything related to medicine, law, engineering, and computer science. There are
Love.
associations of ARMY tutors of courses like science, languages, math, social science, computer science, and art. All of these completely for free. There are also ARMY social media accounts that buy BTS's paid content and stream it for free or share download files so every single ARMY can watch it,
Okay,
even
okay,
if they
okay.
cannot pay for it.
Yeah, I
This
love
may
that.
sound like it's not beneficial to the ARMYs paying for the content.
I love
or
it.
to BTS,
I don't know if we should be
but
admitting
there are still
it.
millions of fans buying the paid content and
Cute
happy to
Oaks,
see
RIP.
every ARMY being able to access the paid content. And again, this collective generosity is simply a reflection of BTS's message and actions. There were times when BTS themselves watched unofficial streams
That's
on
very
camera
true, that's
and
very
even
true.
told ARMYs watching unofficial streams that it was okay to do so. And this generosity by ARMYs is not performative. It's part of the core
Yeah.
of the fandom. Look at what happened in a hidden camera experiment. Someone left an unattended BTS merch table at a K-pop flea market. And instead of ARMYs stealing the merch, they ended up paying more than the expected revenue and even donating their own merch to the table.
I'm gonna cry.
39만 8,790원이 나왔어요. 아니 어떻게 34만 500원보다 더 나온 거예요? 현장에서 팬들이 직접 굿즈를 기부하신 분들도 있었대요. 우리 방탄소년단이 전 세계에 미치는 큰 가치만큼 우리 아미분들의 행동 또한 정말 멋있다는 생각이 드는데요.
BTS donated $1 million.
Not me about to fucking cry again. I never saw that either. I never saw that. Why are we such good people? I say we, I mean everybody else. I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I'm part of the ARMY. I'm so nice and sweet, blah, blah, blah. But like, just the etiquette. Imagine that was any other fandom table and it was unattended with merch there. Do you think they would collect more money than they would have got if somebody... Okay, sorry.
Bucks to the Black Lives Matter, and the ARMY was like,
Yes.
yo, if they can do it, we can do it. And they came, like, fans who were already coming out of the pocket to support artists came out of pocket more to support charity. And this isn't the first time they've done this.
Finally,
Thank
ARMY
you,
not
John
only
Cena.
cares and respects each other and BTS, they also care about the world. You've probably heard about the one time BTS donated $1 million to Black
I
Lives
have,
Matter,
I have.
and ARMY matched their $1 million donation in 24 hours. But this type of actions happen all the time.
All the time.
ARMY is probably the first big fandom that made donating to charities and volunteering part of their mission.
They wanted to say thank you to me for something, and they organized something like charitable in my name. And part of me was like, why isn't everyone's fans doing this? Can you imagine if everyone's fans thanked them by organizing charity in their name?
ARMY has participated in thousands of charity projects around the world, including collecting trash, planting trees, donating food and clothes to shelters, and much, much more. When BTS had to cancel their entire Map of the Soul tour because of the COVID pandemic, many ARMYs donated the money of their ticket refunds to COVID relief efforts and organizations. When concerts returned, tickets for BTS concerts sold out fast. So some ARMYs who were not able to get tickets donated their ticket money to organizations helping Ukraine.
I love it.
Again, I'm not saying that ARMY doesn't have a toxic
True,
side.
keep it in
a
mind,
fandom
like,
this big, there will
always
always
be.
at least a small number of very loud toxic fans, but they are not the majority, not even close. There's
No.
this popular idea that the internet is full of these toxic armies,
I
but
hate
I
that.
dare you to actually click on their accounts and read what they are actually saying about BTS. I assure you, the toxic fans you come across are not actual
They
armies.
pose
They are
as
troll
fans.
accounts pretending to be army
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
people can hate on BTS
Exactly,
and the fandom.
exactly.
Like I said, armies are not K-pop stans. Actually, K-pop stans and other fandoms team up to compete against ARMY. This has happened since ARMY became the most powerful fandom in 2017, and as a consequence, BTS became the most successful group. So if we compare ARMY to other global fandoms of similar magnitudes, I would say that ARMY is the fandom that has done the most good.
Oh, 100%
ARMY is the
agree.
first big fandom who constantly rejects the craziest stereotype from the media and the general public. ARMY goes far and beyond to protect BTS's privacy and personal space. more than any other big fandom. ARMYs hold each other accountable and look for ways to improve the fandom at all times. ARMY cares about each other's safety and is generous to each other and the world. That's how ARMY changed fandom culture. Being the most powerful fandom is not just about having a lot of crazy fans anymore. It's about being
doing
part
something
of a productive
good.
community. It's more than
Yes.
just repeating a positive slogan. This is why I think the toxic stereotype of ARMY should disappear, because it's extremely misleading.
The ARMY are great. Also, they're so poorly represented in culture as these like fangirl, crazy, like mindless, and they're the opposite. They're like intelligent, they're funny, they're tasteful, they're charitable.
There has never been a fandom community like this, and the world should see it for what it actually is.
Yeah. I love that. I've heard all of these things in my life as an ARMY, but putting it all together like this really just makes my heart happy. It opens up. It makes me understand the magnitude of ARMY and what they've done. And so thank you again so much to BORACITY Magazine for this. It truly it means so much. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for the video this week. Once again, I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much to BORACITY Magazine for putting these videos out. Everyone that voted for this in the BTS polls, I love watching these videos because they truly just put everything in perspective, and I think that's what's so important. We get kind of bogged down in our own minds, doing our own things, but to see the bigger picture, it always just makes it better. So thank you all so much for watching this. Thank you to ARMY for being you. You really are the best fandom in the world, and I'm gonna just be honest with you. There's nobody else that compares, honestly. There's other fandoms, but nobody is this large and this productive, charitable, and sweet, sincere, and protective. So keep doing y'all. Now the gen's out again, we have to get back on our feet and make sure to protect them. Okay, I'm over here trying to assemble the Avengers. I love y'all. I'll be back soon. Till then, make sure you click like and subscribe down below. And remember, I love you. Said it, but I mean it. Bye. Would love to know them by name. So